All right, final audio check. Just making sure everyone online can hear me. Sorry, I'm asking for a second time. We're still learning. Yep. Yes. Okay, thanks, Alan. Thank you for that. Let's start our presentation. As soon as I learn how to use Mac. There we go. Ta-da. It's working. All right. Hi and welcome to everybody. So we have a few people here in person. We have a few more people online as well. And we're going to be recording the session today. For the people here, don't worry, you're not going to be recorded. Everything that happens up here gets recorded and we'll shut it down at the end. So yeah, your privacy is completely safe, stuff like that. Same with any pictures that we take. We won't be taking pictures of anyone unless the speakers want a picture or two to boost up their profiles. So that'd be good. If anyone wants selfies with our speakers, they can do that too. But here is our number 15 MuleSoft Meetup presentation. For today we're going to be talking about revolutionizing healthcare management with real-time emergency alerts using MuleSoft. So that's the title for today, but I won't touch on that one too much. I've got to do all the regular sort of things. So we've got, let's our breakdown. So this is mostly for the people online to get a bit of an understanding. So you would have seen when you jumped in online that we've actually not started immediately at 5 o'clock, although the event starts at 5. So we've got a point in time between 5 and 5:10, but now it's closer to nearly 5:30, where we have a time for the people who's coming in person to be able to mingle a bit, grab some food, sit down, do that sort of thing. So it gives them a bit of a time. I've been trying to do a timer so people online can be aware that it starts a little bit later. So that's just something to keep in mind moving forward. And what I forgot to say about the recording is we do post it up on YouTube on our Brisbane MuleSoft Meetups page, which I will share with everyone at some point. Then we go through to introduction and announcements. So that's the same sort of thing we do every time, but we try to see any new, we try to introduce our speakers, we introduce any new changes that's happening in MuleSoft. And then we go on to our topic, and then we do a final wrap up where we do any questions and stuff like that. So we'll cover all those. We'll do introductions now. So these are the organizers of the event. There's a handsome guy in the middle there, and everyone else is sort of okay. But these are all the organizers that we have that actually run the MuleSoft Meetup, and we actually have our first Brisbane MuleSoft Meetup female that's just joined us recently in the past couple of weeks. So Rupa with her is down in South Australia at the moment, but I believe she's trying to help and organize and do things here in the Brisbane MuleSoft Meetup space. So that's really awesome that we've got her helping with this. We've got the regular guys that's been on here for a while. So Ryan Nando, myself, Hugo Way, Nicholas Ip. So all the guys come from different places. We've got these two from CAP. We've got Hugo Way, who comes from CloudWorks, Rupa, who's KPMG, and Nicholas Ip, who is the local MuleSoft guy, MuleSoft Salesforce. The sponsors that we have is Capgemini. So Capgemini actually use this office space here. They help to provide any additional food or stuff like that sometimes. If there's any extras, they give us a space we can use whenever we want for events, which is great. So do check them out. If you do speak at one of these events, you can also promote your company here. And we can say that you'd be as a sponsor, sponsoring your speaking, or something like that. So that's kind of how that works. So today you'll be seeing our two speakers. We've got John Moses and Monica Raka. And this is actually the only father and daughter combo that currently exists that do MuleSoft meetups together. So that's really awesome that they're coming together, kind of see the relation. That's pretty good. But yeah, so we've got John Moses, who will introduce himself a little bit later, and Monica as well. So John Moses is an integration architect, was at the Department of Health and Aged Care a little while ago. He's also a MuleSoft mentor that helps up-and-coming MuleSoft developers to really learn the ropes and do that sort of thing. And we've got Monica, who comes from Capgemini, as a senior consultant that does a lot of our MuleSoft work. So that's really cool. And she's actually up here in Brisbane for a little while, so she's traveling. It's really awesome to have her up here and do a presentation. So it'll be good. We are looking for additional speakers, but for those online, you cannot speak if you're not local. So if you live in another state, but you happen to be traveling and the stars align, you can do it, then you can speak. But if you're online, we can't really have you as a speaker because we do hybrid meetups. If we do reach a point where we do just an online one, you're welcome to be a speaker then, and we'll open it up for there. So send through interest, but we will prioritize local speakers instead. The announcements that we've got is some product things that's been happening. Well, actually, this one's not a product one, but this is more the MuleSoft Ambassador cohort. So we've actually had 29 introductions into the MuleSoft Ambassador cohort. So the ambassadors they're the guys who I guess MuleSoft sees as like where they're active in the community, promoting, helping others, and doing stuff like that. And it's sort of the top rank that you can kind of get in the MuleSoft community as a person who's involved. So typically you'd be a regular MuleSoft community member, and then you can go up from there to be a MuleSoft Meetup leader or Meetup speaker. Then you become a MuleSoft mentor, like John is. Then you can become a MuleSoft ambassador, like we've got our cohorts here. And Queensland actually has 3 MuleSoft ambassadors, and that's 3 out of 5 in all of Australia. So that's pretty good. We're pretty lucky in Brisbane to have quite a few. And we've got 10 new female ambassadors, which is pretty awesome. And all those 29 come from 10 different countries. It's pretty cool to have them joining the community and recognizing their work that they've done. Anypoint Studio has come out 7.17, which now supports for the first time Java 17. So that's a pretty awesome update that's come through. For those who want to be able to take advantage of Java 17 and use that, do adopt it, do take it on. Something exciting to work with. I haven't updated my IDE yet, but I will be doing that sometime next week and playing around with it and trying to break it if I can. Alrighty, I think we are up to the point now where I'm going to hand over to John, and he's going to run us from here and walk us through everything. So let's give a warm welcome to John and Monica as they come up.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, so nice segue. Yeah, so I'm John. I was an integration architect working for Department of Health and Aged Care, and then I finished on my contract last month. Yeah, so yes, I recently moved from Melbourne. We are based out of Melbourne, and then we moved from Melbourne to Brisbane, and that another contract. I just wanted to focus on setting up here, so nicely finishing it there. And yeah, so with me, yeah, so welcome Monica. So yeah, so as she said, my daughter. So yeah, so at one point in time we both, or not we both, my wife as well, so all worked for Capgemini. So Capgemini is kind of a home company for us. So now she's not with Cap anymore, but yeah, so Cap, and yeah, so she is currently with Cap, Melbourne based, and then she flew to be for the Easter break with us. So yeah, they're out of there. So yeah, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks everyone, first of all, for giving me this opportunity, and thanks for taking your time to come to this meetup, and I think you will have fun. So I'm Monica, and I'm working in Capgemini as a MuleSoft developer with more than 4.5 years of experience, and I really feel good to have this conversation here and give a presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. So yeah, so since my last engagement is with Department of Health and Aged Care, I thought, okay, and Aged Care uses Salesforce and MuleSoft. I thought, okay, why don't? So as soon as I moved here, I rang Brian and said, yeah, it's been quite a while because it's been more than 2 years since we did a meetup together. So at that point in time, I was working for Gemina energy company. And then we picked up an energy use case, how we can set up a cloud-based EZA using MuleSoft and Apache and Confluent, and for market transactions. So I said it's been quite a while, so let's do something. So that's why we picked this. So my background is I'm more of a sports person as well, and I used to get injured a lot as well. So yeah, so I do swimming, running and biking, so triathlons and soccer and everything. So that's when I realized the importance of wearable technologies and how it helps. So one aspect is I used to track my metrics with with Garmin watches, in what pace you're doing, what is your heart rate, what is your resting heart rate, what is your heart rate when you're doing strenuous activities. And that clicked once you start once you're working with Department of Healthcare, that kind of clicked yes, because it's aged care, how can we help revolutionizing something that wearable technologies that we can use to respond to the emergency situations. For example, your blood oxygen level is coming down, right, which happens in COVID. That's where yeah. So And what is your resting heart rate is like pumping up. So the normal range is somewhere between 60 to 100, and then like it is pumping beyond like 120 even without doing something. That's a red flag. So then like I thought, okay, so why can't we do something about it? Come up with a solution, right? And that's where like we pick. So basically, the burning concern is here. So a lot of people, like so even like like nowadays, like it's very fast-paced environment, and then like people run along with that to catch up, like with the fast-paced environment. Luckily, Brisbane is not one. So, but like Melbourne and Sydney was, right? And India, all over the world, it's fast. Like you go, yeah, and like we kind of tend to like forget the signals our body gives us, and then like okay, we just ignore, right? Be it like something like inflammation, something like okay, you're not feeling comfortable like in breathing, and like you're yeah, so getting dizziness, so some kind of signals, right, due to various reasons, like yeah. So for example, like in lack of awareness, and then like the misinformation, with abundance of like Google knowledge, I mean like information in Google, which people like say, oh, okay, yep, so I know I can go Google and I get, so which is completely wrong, right? And then like they kind of like, tend to lead, so even like the cultural beliefs, no, we don't want to go to like a GP or a doctor because like our culture says this, because we should not. So there could be various factors. And so what some of the critical emergencies that can lead to like the casualties are like heart attacks, cardiac arrest, and like low oxygen level, and stuff like that, right? So why don't we come up like to with a solution to lower the mortality rates by proactively listening to the health signals to prevent casualties, and also like like reading and understanding what the body is trying to signal, what the metrics is about, and to like like basically lower the mortality rates. So why so as I said, like in order to effectively address the problem, like we took these tools, MuleSoft, Apache, and then like the SMS API gateways, like voice over API gateways, and like email SMTP gateways to alert the necessary people, like when such thing happens. So at this point, like I'll just invite Monica to take over and see like what it means. The next thing.
Thank you, John. So we all know that wearable technologies is helping people in different ways so that they can improvise their life. So one such example I would like to show you, where the Apple Watch will provide an alarm for the people. So let's have a look, and then I'll discuss further.
Yeah, and this is based on a real life event that happened. So yeah, using like what happened when they have Google Watch. Can you play?
It's not allowing. Just check.
Yeah, I think you have to come out.
Yeah, it's just loading. Yeah.
Yeah.
This image of a wall of fur. My watch detected the heart fall, called for help, and then messaged my wife. Next thing, thump, and it was my wife saying, "Have you got Bruce Milton Hall in there? Is he alive?" They said yes, he's okay. I still wear my watch, and I'm still looking for that kangaroo with tire marks.
So here, I'm not sure whether you saw the whole video or not. So what it does is detecting whether a human is falling down or not, and then it sends a message to a health department or the relatives or friends kind of thing. So we already have this idea, but what we are trying here is a question mark. So we know that it is already, but we want to do a different use case which can find out like how we can differently help people, and then improvise that.
So basically, this Apple Watch has automatic fall detection. Garmin has fall detection as well. So the functionality is still there, but when it is already there, what else we are going to do here? That's the question.
Yes.
And yeah, so this is basically an overview of like a wearables technology. So something of the things that I'm wearing now, it's called Whoop. Like many people nowadays start using that, being it athletes, the people from healthcare industry, or people from mining and working on odd hours. So they started using. So what wearable technologies an architecture is? So you connect this to an internet, and it keeps collecting data, and then it pushes to the cloud on a regular basis, right? And then so all the consumers can consume from there, be it Samsung APIs, Health APIs, Apple Health APIs, Garmin has a Garmin Connect app. So you can consume the APIs, all the metrics, not only the performance metrics, it is about your health metrics. And then what we focus today is how we can use Whoop because of additional data that it provides, not what other be it Samsung or Apple or Garmin, which that doesn't provide, what Whoop provides. And this is endless. What we are trying to create here is an ecosystem, is a solution where you can plug and play, whatever wearable technologies or beacon that you use, and then you have a platform which can consume and then push it out. And it also, the platform, the solution also provides different consumers, be it the GPs or NDIS providers or healthcare providers can consume the data that they are supposed to or authorized to, and also it can expand out. So yeah, so this is the solution that we came up with, and which I already kind of mentioned that. Yeah, and then we call it as healthcare real time monitoring app. But the why we name that is, if you expand in a way that you keep consuming from different metrics from different wearables, right? And then you push things to Kafka, and then Snowflake, or for that matter, be it Redshift, AWS Redshift. You pick any technology, you keep pushing that. The data is vital, and we can build we can implement an AI on top of the data to consume and develop a bigger dashboard where you sit and in a hospital room, the chief doctor or the panel of doctors can sit and monitor it. Okay, so this is going well, it's okay, and then here I have a red flag because I can see the heart rate is slowing down and some other vitals is slowing down. So that is the vision that we have got. Build a platform using MuleSoft and all other technologies that it can help. Okay, and we also use in this example again. It is plug and play kind of thing, right? Click send, it's an API gateway that can send SMS, calls, emails, and the messaging services, all kind of messaging. So we have Twilio as well, which has a connector. MuleSoft as a connector for Twilio. You can either easily replace this with Twilio if you want, right? So and again we are using Kafka. You replace Kafka with Confluent, or Kafka with any other Microsoft Azure service bus. It's okay, event grid. You can use either Azure event grid or service bus or event hub, anything and also use the notification services. So it's immense. The potential is immense. So what it does, it receives as soon as it picks up an anomaly. As I give an example, it immediately MuleSoft immediately pushes to the notification, emergency alerts, to click send, send SMS, sends call, and also sends an email, so that everyone gets the instant alerts when there is an emergency that is occurring in real time. Right now, there is no product that doesn't have, or no solution is there, right? So that's our mission. That's what we set in development. Yeah. So from here on, I'll hand over to Monica. Let her take.
Yeah. So why we are using MuleSoft? So MuleSoft is it helps us to connect different end systems kind of thing, and we also have different connectors that we can configure easily. So that's where we thought of using MuleSoft, so that we can connect Apache Kafka or ClickSend or Twilio later on, and even Confluence. So we can connect different APIs easily. So it normally it's like scalable kind of thing. So that's where we wanted to use MuleSoft. And then next comes the Apache Kafka, like as John mentioned. One second. Yeah. So we will be using Apache Kafka. Why? Because when we are pushing messages to Apache Kafka, we can create a topic, and whoever wants, the consumer, it can be healthcare or family members or whoever wants to consume, they can just consume the topic instead of us sending us individually and doing the manual work kind of thing. So that's where we wanted to use this kind of concept and reduce our work.
Yeah. So one thing to add is so if to start with, instead of the system sending to X to Y to Z, right? You create a topic, and then you have the authorization, and then say if you for example, people from Matter Health, they want their patient data. You come you give you provide your authenticity, and then get authorized, and then here is the topic you can consume. So we keep pushing so the entire database is is being posted in Salesforce with all the details, who is authorized, who is the customer, sorry, who is the patient, all the data. And then okay, so this data can be sent to Meta Hospital, to this GP. You come and give get access, and then we provide access to a specific topic, and then all you need to do is build your application just listening to the topic, instead of you go and okay, this is the interface, give me an endpoint, I will send it to you, and tightly hook into that. So you just have that seamless connection. And some of the examples of who can consume: healthcare providers like Meta Health, aged care providers, NDAS providers, registered nurses, and personal caretakers on the residential side of thing, and then the GPs, and the list can go on, right? Yeah. So, and what is the why we are using this architecture, which is in cloud event based metric? Because it seamlessly receives healthcare metrics and all other information as messages, and collect from variable, because the volume is more, because we are reading every 10 seconds, the volume of messages is more. So that's in order to have a scalable distributed event based architecture. That's what Apache Kafka is being in the topic. Then it can be configured to either local or distributed or anything. Yeah. So quick time check, Brian. Are we okay? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so as I talked to you about OOP APIs, right? So these are some of the data that it exposed to, when you are doing cycling, when you are recovering. This is what more important, because when you do activities on the heart rates, or the health metrics tend to go up and down based on what you're doing. But the more important thing is after finishing. For example, we had Shane Bond, cardiac arrest, right? Yeah. So sorry, any cricket lovers here, right? Like that, there are so many celebrities. One such celebrity back in India, you from Bangalore, I believe. Who is that actor who died of Punit Rajkumar? He is a celebrity. well known over India. He died of an heart attack after a gym session, right? So during recovery, you capture the metrics, you can prevent lives. Then while you're sleeping, what is the quality of your sleep? And along with that, what is the strain and stress level that you are having, where you need to modify your lifestyle. So it is much beyond than just technology, right? So then these are the kind of things that it can export. For example, a recovery API endpoint expose this kind of data, recovery score, resting heart rate. Yep. And then you have heart rate variances between so 30 seconds variance. What is the score within that? And then you have skin temperature, whether you are getting a heat stroke. You never know. Yeah, or whether you are getting you are swimming, you are training for English Channel swim. You are going for a cold water swim, you are having an hypothermia, right? So, and then SpO2 percentage, what is your blood oxygen level? So these are the things that we can enhance and use it effectively to provide the emergency notifications. Yeah, next one. Yeah, and then I have given how we implemented this in the demo. But yeah, so technical details, yeah, we can talk when she is giving demo. Yeah, I think it's time for demo.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought sorry about that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, off you go. Yeah, so that's our solution, and yeah, it is kind of yeah.
Yeah, I'll just.
Wait for the demo to start. If anyone's got any questions, ask, you can ask now. Hold until the end as well.
So the format you're using for the to record the events, is it a standard format or is it something that will just use?
No, so this is just JSON. But once you receive a JSON format, right, then you can use HL7, a healthcare protocol. Yeah. Then you can use a HIPAA, which is used back in US, right? And then an EDA X12 format. So you can do, but this OOP APIs, what we showed, that's the standard format we consume, and then that's the power of MuleSoft, where it can transform the data to standards. It can mask the data according to the healthcare regulations. These data should be masked, should be secured at rest, at transit. So that's where it comes, and it is see the authentication mechanism for OOP is quite strong. That is again OAuth 2. There is nothing in that, but there. So unless you go and then you grant permission, which she will show even before getting getting an authorization to collect data, how stringent the authentication process is. Yeah. But yeah, so you can use any standard. Yeah.
So as you mentioned, all the events are getting published to a topic, and any GP or any healthcare provider or educare provider can subscribe to that.
Yeah.
So say for example, if I'm an individual, my details, I ran into some issues and if my details are being triggered, and it has to go to a particular GP only. So what are the possibilities?
Yeah, correct. So yes, yeah, good question, and that's what I mentioned. The database, the master data of patients, of individuals, are in Salesforce. She will tell you when she shows. She will log in and say, contacts. This contact can have this GP, this additional information, and only those details will go to that particular person. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so all has been thought through. Yeah, and yeah, so so we need more questions like that to say have that application or idea to go through and get mature and make foolproof, because this we are talking about healthcare data. Any questions?
Any questions?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it. So I'll just show how we can use WOOP API. Okay.
Share again. Stop sharing. No, not
Yeah,
the
this is the one.
That's the tab, is it? It's go to window, entire screen.
Okay.
Yeah, and then whatever you do. Stop. No. Okay. Yeah, give me a minute. Yeah. And now you can show this.
Yes. Okay. So, okay, initially we'll show like how we can use Whoop API and how we have generated those information kind of things. So in order to access Whoop API, we need to generate an OAuth token, as John mentioned. So I'll be doing that right now. So this is the authentication that we're trying to access new token. So what it does is like it will ask our login details and then we need to grant access as well. So that's where you will be going to see that. So here you can see there are different services that it provides, like recovery, cycle, sleep, and all those things. So we need to grant access so that we can collect those information from that Whoop API kind of thing. So I'm granting that. Yeah. So once it's granted, I'll just test one of the API service. So yeah, we can proceed. And then I'm using this kind of token. So this is a basic profile API endpoint that I'm just triggering and testing whether it works or not. So here you can see the response, like the basic response, like who is the customer details kind of thing. So I'll take you further, like when I run the application, how these details will be collected and how it sends alarm or notification to SMS kind of thing. So
Yeah.
just give me 2 minutes. I'll just run the application, the MuleSoft API. Yeah, it's just running. So what it's happening in background is when the heart rate is more than 100 or if it's less than 60, so it will send a notification and also gives a voice message saying that there is some problem that's going to happen. So it's just running and you will be receiving SMS, which I'll be showing that as well, and the phone call. So meanwhile, I'll just show like what are the customer details that we can see in Salesforce. So think like this is one of the patient, like John Moses. So what it happens is, sorry, just as an example. No.
Okay. Sorry, just wanted to have a bit of fun. So she's calling me. Okay. Yeah.
No, as an example, I'm just saying that thing. But
if you go to details, Dan. So the question that you were asking, so where I can, so then you can add what phone numbers that it needs to send messages, next of kin phone numbers, and the GP phone numbers and additional information. If you just edit this contact, you can use any of the existing fields in the structure, or you can create your own fields and use them. So again, we have standard contact API from Salesforce, which we pull the data from. Data comes in, and then you can use and use that data in your MuleSoft flow to send. So yeah, and also so since my heart rate is okay now, so why it is not figuring, maybe you have to mimic something. I can't run now to increase my heart rate. So so we mimic something, and then that triggers the emergencies. So yeah,
I think we given Brian's number.
Brian's, yeah.
Did you receive any call?
Yeah, so it is, yeah, we mimicked, so it should. Did you, is it?
I just received a message.
Yeah, so you can show the message, and you should have received a call by now.
Very interested how many next the king though.
Yeah. So yeah, so it calls because we mimicked the resting heart rate to be 101. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. Maybe so which number you're given in the, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. You can show. Yeah, so this is SMS, and also it triggers a call. And we didn't implement any email because email is pretty standard. And yeah, so call and SMS is what. Did you give him the right?
Your heart rate a bit higher, John, to get that call.
In the call.
In the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Check the number. I'll just stop and yeah, update the number. Yeah, give my number. Yeah, so what we didn't we forgot to do as well is in this architecture, we didn't put the Salesforce in here. So because as soon as it comes, the individual details will be matched to the Salesforce database, and then use that information to push the data out. So by now the individual patient is dead. Sorry for the solution. No. So yeah, I don't know
It's just
the
an
gateway.
example.
Yeah. So that's what happens in demos. At least an SMS is there.
Yeah.
I actually have a call. I'll show it here.
Oh, okay.
Suspected spam, so you might die.
And then put it on speaker.
It's on speaker.
Oh, okay. Try it again. I just missed it.
Okay.
Try it again. Yeah. No. So it's because it is not a registered numbers it comes and attend and become speaker.
I got a voice message.
No. It won't go right.
Yep. I just.
MuleSoft system detected an unusual blood oxygen level for John Moses now. Please attend immediately.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the cause. If system works, people will be definitely safe. So I can guarantee you that. So yeah.
So run of the platform is also important.
Yes, correct. So, now that's what we chose MuleSoft, which is more reliable.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's completes the demo. And then any more questions?
So I want to ask, so you walk through the use case from the watch down to the user. Well, what if you want to do a use case from like a service provider has 10 clients that you want to monitor for. So with the OAuth authentication you just did, was it specific to each of the gadgets, or was it specific to a group of?
Specific to a group. So I'll show you what happens in the background. on the oops side of thing is so. Yep. So this is like the OOP API dashboard, right? So here, so the first things first in the dashboard, like any provider, like who wish to use, like they have to come and register their application. So that means that application can consume like whatever login that like other, like say 10 patients can they add to the teams. It's called team. If you can see, HRM is the application that we have created, and this one, if you can see, like there are, it's a like free trial version. It consists like minimum of 10 people. So it says apps can be used for development for 10 people immediately, right? So like so the team will be your number of users for like whose data you can pull it out, right? So you add them, and then this as an app will have an authentication, OAuth, client ID and secrets, and all the other users are underneath it. So it's for a whole group, not for individuals. Yeah. So and then you get access to all their data, and then that is what when she run the get basic user profile, and then it gives you one particular users, and that comes along with the ID. In this case, what we used is the email ID to be unique. And if you can see here, let's say get basic profile basic, the response is the user ID and the email. And if you can see in Salesforce, we are using this email ID as the link. So you get the data, and then you go pull out the next of kin GP healthcare providers data from Salesforce using that link, and then use that in Mule core to send only to them, not to anyone else without any option. That's how it is. And there is another use case which I was thinking is clinical trials, right? But that is well sits with what you wanted to, like the other way as well.
Yeah.
So when I say I am a clinical researcher, I want 10 people or a group of people to do some activity of different age groups. So I should be able to send to their app, to their mobile, like I say, you go and do this activity between this time and this time, so that we are in this, so that I can collect. So that's the other way as well. So to send it to the customer. So that's So that's like quickly in the background.
So we have a question from online.
Yeah.
Someone's asked if you're able to show the actual implementation and the Mule flows that were done.
Yeah, so we have to switch, but the idea is to get we can show create a GitHub repository and then provide the link to put it in a page. But definitely ask them to reach out. We can share and and we can put it in a GitHub as a code base. Yeah. That's what we did last time when we did the energy and utility use case. So we created a GitHub, publish that and then provide access to the public.
I was thinking as well, John, it really applies to also IoT devices that you can just bring and kind of plug into the solution. Like in the aged care world where you've got a belt that tells if you've fallen over or something like that, and it can provide alerts immediately if someone's like stuck or something.
Yes, oh, definitely.
It's a portal where you can kind of, because I suppose one of the disadvantages in everyone having I'm on Garmin, so I need to have a Garmin app to be what I'm doing. Maybe my wife has Apple. I never let her, but she has Apple. And then someone else might have something else, Samsung. And all these other things you need different apps to monitor. But to really be able to bring them all together and to view them in a single screen for members that have authorized you to view their heart rate and their health is really a great thing to do. And you can plug in more types of technology.
No, that's what we are not going to to their app to get the data. We are going to their API to get the data. Garmin has Garmin Connect. Whoop has their own application. So all they are doing is like, the one slide I showed, the wearable technologies architecture, everything they are pushing into the cloud. And then like, the apps that people use are coming from the cloud. So like a similar way, like, you don't be to their proprietary app. You like, come and then come out and design something like that. And
Really bring your own device to your healthcare solution.
Yeah. And then like, imagine if like, the registered nurses, like I was part of that project 24/7. And like, they require like, vital information at the right point in time, right? Like, to like, to help the like, patient or aged people in question. So for them, or GPs or emergency department, like, when there is some casualties happening, even before you reach there, you have all your data, what's happening, and the real-time data that's in field. So, and then like, imagine the emergency department who's in the hospital can instruct the person in the ambulance, say, this is going, even though they know, like, they can do whatever, and then like, if something like, they need help, they can collaborate, they can communicate. Yeah, so that's the benefits are immense if we like, come up with a solution or build something like that and go to the.
Do you have any other questions that anyone wants to ask? John, Mark, you're also welcome to ask them after the presentation or offline. Feel free to reach out to John on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, and whoever asked that question, like, ask to reach out.
Yeah.
I can like, provide the code first hand and then like, create the repository and then upload it. Good, and thanks everyone for your time. Thanks, Brian, for the opportunity. And yeah, so let's get started.
Give a round of applause to John Mark for the presentation. Okay. I might just pop back over quickly to the slide, although it's just a wrap up, so that's fine. Yeah, actually, that's fine. I'll just leave it on that. Yeah. Oh, I'm your assistant. That's who I am. It's good. I just see where my phone number was. Assistant.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
So as we do wrap up, actually, I might share my screen here.
Mm-hmm. I'll stop sharing then.
Yeah.
Which one?
There is another tab.
Here. Oh, okay. Yep, done.
I'll just size this up here. Okay, cool. So it's not too clear here, but I just want to give a quick call out to the Brisbane MuleSoft Meetup group that we do. So I mentioned before that if you want to do a talk, you want to do something, I guess one of the first places you can sort of go into is the MuleSoft Meetup group, and that's where we talk about upcoming events and things that will happen, give you an opportunity to talk. And I just want to highlight some of the events that are coming up. So I'm very famous for getting dates wrong. So today I booked right before Easter, long weekend, so great job. In April, I booked Anzac Day. I think it's Anzac Day, so I'm pretty good at that too. And last year I booked it was on a Wednesday, so it was the State of Origin finals that I did a MuleSoft Meetup on. So I'm really, really good at that. So if you guys see a date that's wrong, please let me know, because I won't know until the night of. But we do have a couple of meetups that are going to be happening. So we've done tonight, which is Thursday, by John and Monica. We've got one coming up next month, which will not be the 25th of April, but we'll let you know the date soon. And we've got the speaker, Jose Carl, who will be doing it for us. And he's actually here in the audience with us. So he'll be doing that next. We've got one in May coming up. Oh, sorry, the topic for next month's one is hyper-automation and MuleSoft. So that'll be a pretty interesting one. If you wanted to look at RPA or stuff like that, you can have a look at it. It's very good if you're interested in doing your MuleSoft sort of Salesforce hyper-automation certification. Forget the name. But if you're looking to get in that certification, this is probably a good meetup to go to. You can get a little bit of a look at it. It's very hard to get hands-on practice for Mule RPA. So coming to a meetup like this, you can look at it, ask questions and stuff like that. It's a very good place to do that. But again, it will be recorded so you can watch it afterward. The one after that, we've got Deepak, who will be presenting in May for the first time as a speaker. And his topic hasn't come through yet, as well as Gaurav through in June. So he will be doing that. So those are the ones that are coming up, but we've got basically the 4th Thursday of every month. So that's why I've got today is today, and next month is Anzac Day. But basically it's the 4th Thursday of every month that we're going to be doing it. We're going to run it same time as we do today. We'll start at 5 for people coming present, 5:10 for people online, and then we'll run through until about 6:15, 6:30, but feel free to stay as long as you want or leave as early as you want. That's more than welcome to. We've got a couple more dates that's down below. I don't know if I can get you to scroll down. Your Monica, yeah, great. Just a little bit. Okay, yeah, cool. Just until November. All right, so perfect. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spots left open. If anyone's interested in doing a talk, so we've got a couple of guys here who've actually done talks before. So if you want to talk again, bring up a topic, you're more than welcome to. Anyone watching this, you're welcome to join as well if you're in Brisbane. On November, we are going to try and do another Brisbane MuleSoft Mega Meetup. So we did this about 2 years ago, where we had about 70 participants, I think it was. So we had about 70 people there, from your C-suites to your execs to developers, architects, and everything like that. And we had really good discussions around automation and what it might look like. We also discussed Cloud Hub 2.0. So it was a really good, really big meetup. So we're looking at doing that again this year. We're going to try and get some partners in to come along, so the Deloittes, the Accentures, so on and so forth. Get everyone involved, get speakers from them, and run a really good big event where there'll be lots of food that's nicer than the pizzas that I have today. But yeah, there'll be lots of food, lots of drinks, lots of time to meet and greet. So those are those things over there. I think we've pretty much covered up everything. So yeah, if you do want to speak, do so. If you want to join, it's every 4th Thursday at 5 p.m. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, everyone. And we can now make it. I'll stop recording.